I'm Steve Jasper and I'm the jet lag guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Jet Lag in the News. Let's start with some research. In South Korea, researchers look for the link between sleep deprivation and depression and obesity. There were 5,912 participants using the 8th Korean National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, which is an annual nationwide survey monitoring the health and nutritional status of the general population there. The researchers found, quote, individuals with sleep deprivation were more likely to have depressive symptoms and obesity. On the basis of these findings, both the duration and regularity of sleep are associated with depressive symptoms and obesity, suggesting that sleep patterns may play important roles in these health outcomes. Research out of China into the mental health of 11,312 college students and associated sleep patterns. The researchers found, quote, healthy sleep patterns were significantly associated with reduced risks of non-suicidal self-injury, suicidal ideation, and suicide attempts among Chinese college students. Sleep disruption has a profound negative impact on mental health. Also out of China, this time Hong Kong, research in mice is examining the link between circadian disruption and prostate cancer. It has been known for some time that, quote, disruption of circadian rhythms due to night shift work is classified as a probable carcinogen for cancers of the breast, prostate, and colorectum by the International Agency for the Research on Cancer. The researchers found that, quote, the disruption of circadian rhythms under chronic jet lag conditions could enhance prostate cancer growth. Although bear in mind, this research was conducted in mice. But the take-home message, please take jet lag seriously. On a note about fruit fly research, there is a database of fruit fly genes called FlyBase, which is likely to receive funding cuts from the US government. Fruit fly research has been vital in several fields, including circadian rhythm research. The funding cuts could affect research not in just circadian rhythm research, but a number of genetically based diseases. Over to sport. The Laver Cup has just concluded. A tennis match where 6 players from Europe were Team Europe and 6 players from other parts of the world were Team World. Tennis great Roger Federer said that the time zone difference between San Francisco, where the game was played, and Europe would put Team Europe at a disadvantage. And he was right, as Team World won 15 points to 9. More jet lag in sport. Soccer team Kairat Almaty from Kazakhstan took on Sporting CP in Lisbon, but were unfortunately defeated by 4-1 by the home team. The distance from Almaty to Lisbon is 7,200 kilometres, and there's a 5-hour time zone difference, so jet lag may have been a factor in their defeat. Greek basketball news. The Pavlos Giannakopoulos Tournament was held for the first time outside of Greece. And when I say outside Greece, I mean very outside Greece. Melbourne, Australia to be precise. That's a full 8 hours ahead of Greece. So yes, there was a lot of jet lag involved. But the game was well supported here in Melbourne, so it was worth the jet lag here and back. Over to aeroplane news. Irish budget airline Ryanair is looking at standing-only seats, which have just cleared regulatory hurdles and passed safety assessments. These non-seat seats are designed for flights of 2 hours or less and would increase passenger numbers by 20%. As one commentator said, corporations will do anything other than paying their CEO slightly less money. And my concern would be also in the area of deep vein thrombosis. This is the longest flight in the world, although not the longest non-stop flight in the world. Thankfully, you won't have to stand for this. As of the 4th of December, China Eastern Airlines will run the world's longest direct passenger flight from Shanghai to Buenos Aires, with a refuelling stop in Auckland. The flight is 26 hours outbound and 29 hours returning. It will fly twice a week and cross 13 time zones, so the jet lag will be brutal. The flight is Travellers between Zurich and Boston on Swiss Airlines will notice an upgrade, as the new Airbus A350-900s will start flying the route as of November, ahead of schedule. There will be a total of 10 of these planes by 2031 flying for Swiss Airlines, and of course, they have customisable lighting designed to minimise the impact of jet lag. In Australia, Virgin will be allowing flights with pets, specifically cats and dogs, on flights between Melbourne and Queensland as of October. There will be strict guidelines. The animal has to go in an approved pet carrier, and the animal plus carrier cannot weigh more than 8 kilograms, so you can't take your golden retriever. They won't be allowed out of the carrier, so you can't have them on your lap or walk them up the aisle. And if your animal makes a mess, you'll have to clean it up at your destination. As someone who is horribly allergic to cats, this does worry me a bit. And no, you cannot take your emotional support peacock. The Airbus A220 is going to carry more seats, which means that it has to increase the number of emergency exits to be compliant. The overhead bins will also be 20% lighter and offer 15% more storage capacity, which is nice for those of us who like to take carry-on luggage and hate having to jostle for it. If you're looking to fly a private jet, both the Gulfstream G700 and G800 have lighting designed to support your circadian rhythm. The G800 has a range that can fly from New York City to Sydney, Australia in one trip, which is so much nicer than transferring at LAX. Then again, the ninth level of hell is so much nicer than transferring at LAX. To music. St Vincent took some pills to manage jet lag and it turned very dark. She came up with the lyrics, pills to wake, pills to sleep, pills, pills, pills every day of the week. And it became a summer hit. And I have to say, it's an absolute banger, so go track that song down. The methods I use to treat jet lag are drug-free, low-cost, and evidence-based. If you have any questions or want to know more about what I do, check out my website at www.jetlagguide.com.au. There's another book on the way, and you'll be the first to know when it's released. And that's this week's Jet Lag in the News. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy.